Hello Cancer, welcome back to my Body and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of July 2020. We entered Cancer season, so happy birthday Cancer. I hope you're well. I hope you're really enjoying this month with your own energy. We had a new moon in Cancer and eclipse, and now we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn, your opposite sign, as it's usually the case. Yes, we also just came out of, or we're coming out of the Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde. I think it's still a little bit, never mind. The point is that there's a lot of transits and there's a lot of integration being done in this month of July. Now let's see what is the energy available for you, my dear Cancer. Check out the astrology reports. I'm sure that you can find a lot of wisdom in there based on your themes, correlated with your birth chart and all, if you're interested to go deeper. But for now, let's just do the tarot. So the Four of Pentacles you have as a current energy. All right. See what's going on. What is your challenge, my dear Cancer? The Four of Swords is your challenge. See what's your advice. The World is advice. And what is the future energy? Queen of Wands is future energy. Beautiful. And we have the Five of Cups as the theme of your reading. Very well, my dear Cancer. It's an interesting energy here. I see two fours, and this five here is the theme. It's kind of what you're working through this month, right? And it's, I think it's some type of emotional processing here. Processing some things that you've lost, whether that means people in your life or a job or opportunities, lost opportunities or lost dreams or lost versions of yourself. That can be the case too. Now let's clarify these cards before we go any deeper. Okay, so you have the Six of Pentacles with the Empress as your current energy, along with the Four of Pentacles. Why is the Four of Swords here? Okay, you have the Son of Wands, the Six of, I think these are swords, and the Devil with the Four of Swords. Okay. What is the World here as your advice? Eight of Wands. Okay. Why is the Queen of Wands here as the future energy? You want a lot of cards, my dear. The Nine of Pentacles, the Mother of Cups, and the Ace of Swords, with the Queen of Wands as your future energy. And bottom of the deck, there's the Six of Wands. Six of Wands with the Five of Cups. Okay. Let's talk through this, my dear Cancer. So you see this person here is mourning. He's mourning about whatever has been lost here. And whatever had been lost, you have been emotionally attached to a certain degree. Now there's two more cups over here. So and this person just needs to take his time to process this. Okay, there was something there that was valuable to you, and now it's not there anymore. There's two more cups that can help you, you know, keep. Not everything is lost. Let's put it this way. And these three cups can be refilled with something completely new, or they can be, you know, can pour a bit from one to another and make more of it. Doesn't matter. But I think it's a matter of choice also. And it's a matter of recognizing. The Six of Wands is about really recognizing your hard work and your efforts and your needs being met, and, you know, coming through the quest is a card of victory, figuring out what you need and how to get there, and getting there, doing it. So this victory might have come at cost, but it is important to still understand that this is as it should be. This loss was necessary for you in order to get to this point of transformation. I like that there's the butterfly here, which symbolizes transformation. You couldn't have gone to this point of transformation where you it's like a metamorphosis without this loss. It is your experience as it is, and it is needed. And I think you're making your peace with that this month. And that helps you like unlock yourself for new experiences. But yeah, mourning is necessary. Just don't drop anchor there. Don't get lost in mourning. Don't make this the new normal. There's a time for mourning, and there's a time for celebration. And there's a time for hard work and things like this. And you need to feel into it, like really feel into it. Feel what is it, what is really going on for you. The mourning is a necessary step, and it has a few stages. I think you're going through the final stages of your mourning, of whatever it is that you lost. It may have to do a lot with your spiritual beliefs, and with the ideals more that come with your spirituality. How we should come into the world, what should we do, how we should look like, how this person that I am becoming looks like. We can be surprised to see that we still have shadow aspects. We may still be very surprised to see that some things that mattered for us at some point in our lives don't matter anymore. As you open yourself up towards your experience and accept it for what it is, including the lost, including what is left, including what's coming new, you see there's a river here, and there's a bridge, and there's the castle. There's a lot going on in this journey. This is not the end. And the butterfly has just started a new phase of its existence. Okay. It's a very important part of our journey, and I think that given that there's this Six of Wands here, you're going through it very successfully. So there's no real matter for concern, but there may be necessary for you to hold space for uncomfortable emotions as well. And you have again another six here. You have the Four of Pentacles coming with the Six of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Devil. And I just see this as being mirror right now, the 4 and the 6. And the Devil is also number 6, actually. It's 15, and it's the mirror card for the lovers. See, you may be very protective right now with your space, with yourself, with your time, with your finances, with you may be protective in all aspects of yourself. And it may come so from a spiritual perspective, maybe you've been going through this transformation, through this loss, through this this whole thing that broke you open in order for the spirituality to take deep root within you. And yes, it may have been necessary for a long time for you to have very strong boundaries, and for you to keep distance from triggers in the past that were very, that maybe that you didn't have tolerance for, so you weren't really able to be present with them. So that meant that distance was necessary. I believe that the time, and yeah, the space for mourning maybe was necessary again to become aware of what you've lost, and become aware of what you still have, and becoming aware of what you want to put in those cups further. You needed space for that. I believe though that it is important to not get stuck here either. The Four of Pentacles, and you have the Four of Swords here too. There's two fours. They're cards of stability, but this one in particular talks about, hey, don't be too stingy. Don't get over attached or over anything, especially worldly at this point. Having a strong foundation and strong boundaries is necessary, but there are times where you need to allow yourself to be pulled out of your comfort zone as well. Okay, not too much, doesn't need to be responsible, doesn't need to be in that sense of like, hey, I always need to go through shock type of experiences and in order for growth to happen. It can be done with a lot of gentleness with the Empress here. It can be done with balance with the Six of Pentacles here. It can be done, you know, that type of growth that comes naturally as we nurture. So nurturing is very important, but it doesn't necessarily mean that if we are on a spiritual path, we need to close ourselves to anything that can instill that longing within ourselves. That longing is there for a reason. We long to have certain experiences. That could be love, that could be loss, that could be certain adventures that aren't necessarily going to say create a long-lasting empire for you. It's just a matter of a figure of speech. But it can help you develop yourself, develop your psyche, develop your heart, develop your perspective. So sometimes we need to allow ourselves to be pulled by the devil. You know, the devil is of the mind. The devil is going to show you what else is out there, what we create from our minds. And yes, it does speak of the shadow self, but the shadow self needs to become conscious. The shadow self is not to be denied, is not to be dismissed, is not to be cleansed. It's about integration. It's about, I think in Jungian psychology they say, Jung was saying, make the unconscious, make the darkness conscious, you know, bring awareness to what lies in the shadows. And sometimes when we are spending time in solitude, meditation and strong boundaries, we may think that we've got this. We may think that, hey, this is it, this was my work, it's enough. And it is enough. The thing is that there's always more to learn, there's always more to be revealed, and we should not shy away from that. Not of fear of loss, not because of we think that it's somehow unholy or unworthy of us to say come into the body and feeling into our senses and to delight ourselves into our senses. You know, the Empress is a Taurus, is Venus in Taurus, it's all about the senses, it's all about coming into the body, it's all about really, really enjoying oneself in this life. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is when there's excess, when we are using that to escape from ourselves, when we are using that to cover for whatever lies in the shadow that isn't being addressed. Sometimes we can hide behind this whole foundation that we've built, and the shadow can thrive. Thrive, is that a word? Yeah. So I think if you're doing this with balance, if you're using the foundation that you've built, and with that foundation, make sure how much you give, how much you can take, how much is like, what fruits have you been cultivating through your time of serious work, and with gentleness and awareness, bring bring your shadow. I know this sounds weird. Love. Bring love to your shadow. Allow your shadow to be. Allow your deeper, darker sides that you are afraid to, you have been afraid up until now at least, to work with, to slowly come out without judgment and start creating a relationship with them. So use the foundation, but don't get stuck in there. There needs to be growth. And there's fear. There's a lot of fear as we work with this. But hey, you have a lot of supportive energy here. The Six of Pentacles is that awareness of how much you can give and how much you can take. So you don't need to lose your boundaries, but you don't need to stay closed either. The Empress here, it's again a lot about being truly present in your body and nurturing with yourself and nurturing with all aspects of yourself. That means that whenever you feel like you've gone too much or overextend yourself, you're going to pull yourself back right into these clear, beautiful boundaries that you created for yourself, and that's it, you know. And then whenever you're nourished and replenished and all, you can come out again and you can expand yourself a bit more and expand your life experience. That's what this is all about, expanding the soul, allowing this transformation to happen at many levels. Okay, so challenging. You have the Four of Swords, the Son of Wands, and the Six of Wands. No, wait, this is Swords. Yeah, this is pretty confusing, isn't it? All right, so maybe you're overthinking. I think you're overthinking. What is it that you need to do right now? Should I stay or should I go? Should I keep mourning, or am I allowed now to move on to the next level? Am I allowed now to go into a new experience, a new adventure? It's hard with the mourning, you know, especially if we lose someone, a person, whether to death, whether to illness, whether to just separation, we fall apart. We feel we owe that person or that part of ourselves that we lost, or we feel we owe them to be mourning, and we feel like we're betraying them when we're moving forward. We are not. Whoever you lost or whatever you lost, you were not meant to stay forever in there. So don't overthink. Allow the transformation to happen. Allow yourself to grow through the new experiences. Allow yourself to be pulled out of yourself yet again. And allow yourself to move forward. The Six of Swords is about moving forward from a difficult situation. It is important to make the mental exercise as well, of like taking that conscious decision of like, okay, I've had my period of retreat, I had my period of rest, I had my period of, as I said, strong boundaries and very closed retreat, which was necessary for you to create, you know, the space that you needed for this transformation to take place. But you can't stay there forever. You can always go back to it. You don't need to lose it. But don't be afraid to come out. Don't be afraid to move away from the mourning period. It's okay. You are allowed to enjoy life again. You are allowed to move forward, but you need to give yourself permission. This is mind energy. And the Son of Wands is the Knight of Wands, which means expansion. And the Wands is about spirituality and about passion and experience and all that. And the Knights are actually energy of the mind. So it's, again, expanding your mind through spirituality and experience. Allowing yourself to grow out of old beliefs and start learning new ones through experience, not because you went into a library and you read about this and about that. You see this snake here. It's really seems to have figured something out that works. I don't know, this whole explosion that comes from the wand here. It seems to be very much connected with a conscious awareness of the snake. He seems to be able to create this phenomena because he understood how things work. Snakes shed off skins. You've been shedding off a skin, baby. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's important for you to recognize that, though. And I think others around you may recognize it with the Six of Wands here as your theme. There's 2 sixes too. Okay. And then advise the world with the Eight of Wands. Yes. It feels like that the message comes really, really clear that it's time for you to leave the past behind, to move, step through this portal that's been opened for you. This is the Saturn energy. This is lesson learned. You've learned your lessons. You've learned everything that you could have learned from this loss. You've learned everything that you needed to learn to instill and to not make the same mistakes again. I'm sure that whatever mistakes had been done within this story that includes this loss, you've learned from them, and you've allowed that energy to transmute you. I don't know if this transformation, transmutation, sometimes I'm confusing the two. I know there's a very clear difference, but right now it does not come to mind. But you know, this metamorphosis of the caterpillar into the butterfly. And here you stand naked. That means vulnerable. That means open to the world and open to the divinity. And if the Eight of Wands is that you see, there's this, like, I don't know if you see, there's this lightning bolt that's quite colorful that hits this wand, and they create this space of like clearing into the darkness nearby. Again, this is lesson learned, and you see you have here all these like spirit guides, angels, whatever symbolism around it with the these are the archangels, whatever. You are now open to messages. You are now open to wisdom that's beyond your mind and beyond your perception of what the world should look like, or what is it that's supposed to be going on in your life. I think you're getting these bursts of awareness at this period of time that you've spent it closed and into like in the cocoon before becoming this butterfly that you're becoming, had maybe built up for you a continuity of mindfulness. You've got to meet yourself at a deeper level, and you are able now to penetrate some of these compartments that we create in our mind about who we're supposed to be, who we are, who is me in the past, who's me in the future, who's this, who's that, who's the bad me, the good me, the needy me, the overachiever me, all these aspects of ourselves. I think you're able to sort of penetrate through that and see yourself more as a whole, open, vulnerable, naked, stepping through the portal towards the next experience with divine guidance, with direct, you can say downloads, but you know, that's just saying it, with direct knowledge from within yourself of what is this all about. I'm sure that you're spiritual, otherwise you wouldn't be here. This is a lot about spirituality. As we grow on the spiritual path, it's not like we don't experience suffering anymore. Of course we suffer. According to Buddhism, life is suffering, we live in suffering, samsara. But the thing is that we start understanding more and more with this burst of awareness of what is this for? What is this? What is the lesson for my soul? How is this experience expanding my consciousness and awareness? And how does it bring it closer to this wholeness, And as you go through a few, periods of growth and cycles of awareness, and the world being the end of a cycle, it seems to make much more sense, We can still suffer, we can still feel the pain, we can still understand that, we're still humans, and we feel anger, and we feel loss and mourning, and we feel all that. But somehow it starts to create a bigger picture. And we're resisting less. And that somehow makes it easier, brings us some type of peace, inner peace. And accepting life for what it is literally the recipe for joy. Because we stop fucking resisting the whole time our life and our experiences and ourselves. So I think you're going through a very deep transformation here, a very, very beautiful process. And you're opening to a lot. The guidance here is to step through the door and allow yourself to be guided by this deeper awareness that's not coming from the mind. Stop overthinking, my love. Also, don't allow yourself to be completely numbed out and be like, okay, now I am so serene because I'm in this super cool little space that I created for myself in order to protect myself from the world and go through this void and cocoon and be molded and stuff. Well, this is your invitation of coming out. And this is your invitation to step into your damn power. With the Queen of Wands here. And the Nine of Pentacles is also that card of independence, individuality, being able to nourish yourself based on the hard work that you've put so far, being very self-reliant. A Queen of Wands is like somebody who's confident, who's sexual, who's present, who's very spiritual. She's the mother of beliefs. She's a spiritual nurse, if you may. And you can do that because you've done these steps. You've been through the mourning, you've been through the transformation, you've been through the shadow work, you've allowed yourself to be seduced by the divine, seduced by the world out there, seduced by things that maybe you thought of them not being so spiritual. There's nothing that is spiritual nor not spiritual. Everything is, we're all on a spiritual path. Yes, there can be a lot of unawareness, but that's the work, no? And the cat here, I feel like you're getting like these glimpses again from a world that you're not necessarily used to work with. And you are able to witness that. Cats are witnessers. They don't really do much, They're kind of like seeing the experience of what it is and like, okay, yeah, cool. They're very laid back and chill. And you have the Mother of Cups with the Ace of Swords as well here. So I feel like there's so much gentleness that's coming through. The Queen of Wands is a bit more exuberant. And the Mother of Cups is incredibly, it's actually your card. She's incredibly nurturing and caring and empathetic and reflecting. So it's okay to be both. You don't need to be in one role or another. You can be two different aspects of yourself at the same time without fighting over the spot under the spotlight, At Ace of Swords, I think it's that deep understanding, and I see these two thunderbolts here. You can have awareness from two different compartments of yourself at the same time, and that's when they start connecting. What do I mean with that? is that you can work with pairs of opposites or pairs of parts of yourself that you are not used to put together as one. I think you're ready to do that. And you have, the queens are ruled by the drive of the heart. I think that you're opened to your heart space and you're able to drive this whole experience with a lot of love and compassion and with a lot of in energy, holding space for the experience to come and go without over attaching or without having to put yourself out there in one way or another at this point. It's more like responding to life rather than trying to manipulate life. And you're very self-reliant, you're very strong right now. You are in this month of July. And it is coming like a lot of clarity here. It's very interesting because the wands have snakes in this deck. And I see another snake here with the Ace of Swords. The swords suit at the court cards in this deck are owls, which symbolize wisdom and clarity. But this snake here, and also like having the infinity shape and this rainbow colors, it tells me that you get a wisdom that's very earthy as well, that's very transformative. It is of the mind, but it's the mind finally truly supporting your heart, truly supporting the path that you're walking on. Sometimes the mind can be an ally, sometimes the mind can just like go cuckoo and go into, as I said, dissociation and rationalization and compartmentalization, and kind of like deterring us from moving forward out of fear of pain. That's defensive behavior. I think that you are unlocking through this deep understanding that you're going through, and with this, I really feel it in the heart, with this opening, clearing that's happening with this continuity of mindfulness and continuity of awareness. You're really unlocking a multi-level type of awareness and experience, and a lot of personal power that comes not from wanting to control, but for being present and by allowing. Gorgeous. Cancer. Good season. All right, let's see what's the... Okay, that was quick. The Hand of Fatima. I don't know exactly how. I basically don't see anything what's happening on the screen now with this new setting. Number 43. Again, towards the end of the journey. So it's the end of the book, basically. Is it the last one? No, it's not the last one, but the one before the last one. But yeah, I think I'll leave it here. I hope you see. The Hand of Fatima, the poem from Rumi says, I can never leave you, not for a moment, not for an hour. You are in everything I do. You are my everything. I drink. My drink is your sweetness. I move to your command. I am surrendered prey in your hands, and you are my consuming lion. Your soul and my soul are truly one soul. I swear to one soul. I long for no one but you. In the garden of your grace, I am only a germinating sprout. The crown of my blooming is the desire to be in your arms. Rumi. To be honest, I can't really connect now with this poem for some reason. It doesn't tell me much, but if it does to you, please use your intuition to interpret it how you open up towards it. But let's read the explanation. So you are giving birth to more spirit than you have ever held before. It makes sense with this Six of Wands transformation here, and with the Queen of Wands and the World, yeah. During such times, a divine midwife can be helpful and supportive. This is Fatima, radiant daughter of the great beloved, who reaches from the skies, who reaches up from within your body, from deep within the earth, and brings you the gift of protection, grace, and love. You are safe, you are held, and you are bound within her warmth. She has received your prayers and she honors your devotion for life, to love, and to grow. She will help you. Ask for her blessings daily. You can use the simple sacred honoring ritual to do so if you need guidance on how to pray to her, but any words from your heart spoken with authenticity will suffice, no matter how simple or ornate they may be. She responds to the feeling behind the words, and she responds instantly, beyond time and space. In fact, she has responded even now, perhaps before you even knew she was needed. This oracle brings you the guidance that what is being born in your life right now, in your own consciousness as a seed, perhaps of a new way of being, a new idea, belief system, philosophy, or sense of self, is going to come to maturity under the loving protection of the Divine Mother. You are also being asked to heed your intuition and instincts. That's what the Queen of Wands does as well. Have some discernment about who you involve yourself with and how you choose to use your time and energy. You seem to have that discernment already, but you know that doesn't mean that you don't need to see anyone. You just need to have discernment of who you actually devoting some of that energy, and that's what the Six of Pentacles is helping you do. And the devil, yeah, the devil helps you gently maybe keep boundaries in place where they're necessary. It doesn't need to come with resentment, you know. And to answer the call to those particular experiences that you have something to learn from. Okay, wait, where was I? Okay, allow yourself to feel Fatima's guidance and comfort in you by giving yourself permission to be nurtured with the Empress. Through your own choices and the people or situation you say yes or no to in your life. This is a way to honor her presence and allow her to help you, which she wishes to do in all ways possible. Love is all things you see, dearest angel, and that means saying no can mean saying yes to something greater. So give yourself permission to say your no and yes as dictated by your heart. This oracle brings you the message that your body is sacred and worth your attention. You do not have to become obsessed. You do not have to push or judge your body, but you can honor him or her as a sacred animal through which your spirit creates soul and expresses itself in the world. This is a truly wonderful and amazing gift, extraordinary and yet fraught with challenge. The spirit can be powerful. Sometimes it can be hesitant too, enough to really engage with the body and come to life. There is a story that the angels sang music to lure the spirit into the body, but used it to its freedom. It was reluctant to experience but used to its freedom, it was reluctant to experience itself in what looked like a rather confining matter. The spirit did not know that Fatima would be initiating the spirit into her mysteries through the body. She was going to be sharing the sensuality of life, the sacredness of love, the deep mystery of life, death, and rebirth, and the wonders of nature. She was going to show the divine could live not only in light, but also in flesh. Fatima holds the wilderness of divine feminine wisdom and the sanctity of life. She has great gifts of ecstatic presence only able to be experienced through the spirit living in the body. She will share this if you allow her to guide you. Once the spirit recognizes this, even just gets a whiff of Fatima's glorious fragrance, the enthusiasm for life ignites, and the wonders of the world experienced through the body become a way to revere the great beloved and turn all of life into the temple of love. This oracle comes with guidance. Giving your body rest and healing is more beneficial at this time. There are symptoms you are experiencing, anything from fuzzy-headedness to tiredness and aches and pains, as well as shifts in the body temperature that seem unbalanced. These are directly related, if not solely, to the interaction of your spiritual essence with your sacred animal body. This will even out under Fatima's grace and protection, like two housemates learning to live together and enhance each other rather than distract and annoy each other with their quirks and differences. This settling in process will happen all the more easily when you ask for Fatima's help. This oracle also advises that if you ask for help on protection in any matter, it will be granted. There is no exception to this rule. There is nothing you have done that has made you unworthy of divine intervention, grace, and love. Not one thing ever. Ask, trust, and receive. So I'll read the sacred honoring ritual for you. So if you feel the call to do it, go for it. If not, do whatever feels good to you. So place one hand on your heart and one on your belly and say the following aloud. Fatima, who loved me unconditionally, bless me with your hand of protection and your radiant grace. May I love my body and live my divinity in totality. My spirit is my body is my spirit. Arvahuna, Arsaduna, Va Arsaduna, Arvahuna. Repeat slowly and carefully 3 times, then rest if you wish to. When you are ready, you have completed your sacred honoring ritual. Now, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but that's what I could make of it. Alright, Cancer, so this was your reading for the month of July. It looks fantastic. It looks like a really, really good coming together of body and spirit, and you coming into a lot of all your power and allowing the wheel to turn, allowing yourself to move to the next level. Thank you so much for being here. If you resonated with this reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and yeah, may our practice benefit all beings. I'll see you here next month.